Hey, I'm Allison, and this is Realistically Consistent, where we talk about how to build sustainable fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits that actually last even as a busy mom. I'm here to help get you consistent, not perfect, and on your way to feeling like your best self. I'm so excited to start today's episode with you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Realistically Consistent. Thank you so much for joining me today. Real quick, if you have not hit that like, follow, subscribe button yet, please take a moment to do so. It helps the show more than you know, and it's going to help me continue to bring you more episodes like this and many, many more. With that, I want to get into today's episode. So today I want to talk all about food noise or even stress eating. Sometimes I think they can be related. Sometimes I think they can be two separate entities. So I want to break them down as two separate things. But at the same time, we'll also talk about how they can kind of tie into each other too, because a lot of times that stress eating or stress can cause more food noise, which can then cause stress eating, right? So they can also be connected, but then, like I said, they can also be separate entities. So the first thing that I want to talk about is food noise. So what is that? It is when you just can't shut it off. You can't stop thinking about food, about those things that you want. What are you going to eat next? You could be thinking about what you're going to eat next when you're currently eating. You could be feeling full from a meal and still thinking about what am I going to eat next? Some of these could be responses to potential childhood traumas. Did you grow up in a family where you didn't have a ton of resources, you didn't have a ton of food, and there was always that fear there that there wasn't going to be enough? If that's the case for you, that's not something we're going to dive into a ton today, but it is something that's worth looking into, maybe speaking with a therapist about, so that you can identify some of those traumas and start to work through those, because that is 100% a mindset and that has become a part of your identity from childhood, of that fear of maybe not having enough, and that could potentially be leaking into other areas of your life. So that could be an area from where that food noise is coming from. It could be from an area of things that we've talked about already on this show, of just how this generation of women grew up thinking in like the diet culture, of that skinny culture of, cutting out things and constantly starting the next diet over and being in this restriction mindset and all of those things. That in itself, which is in a lot of ways trauma, could be causing a lot of this food noise, because we grew up in our transitional years, our teenage years, our early adulthood years in this restrictive mindset. And just being so confused and feeling like we need to be in this restriction, but there's temptation everywhere, because while we grew up there, we also live in a society where there is temptation everywhere. Food is easier to access now more than ever between DoorDash and delivery systems, grocery delivery systems, and things that how quickly things can get to you, drive-throughs, all of the things. And so now with it being so accessible, it is hard to shut that off. So we're battling that, okay, super restrictive mindset mode with being in a society where our portions are 2, 3, 4, 5 times the size sometimes of what your body actually needs as a portion size, and trying to figure out when to cut yourself off from eating, feeling like you also grew up in this age of being in the clean plate club where your mom made you finish your plate, whether you were full or not understanding hunger cues, having to ignore hunger cues. And so there's all of these things that contributed throughout childhood, throughout your teenage years, throughout your early adulthood years, and even things that are occurring right now. They're all contributing to this food noise of never being able to feel like you can just shut it off. And like I kind of said, it's whether you're hungry, whether you're full, whether you're eating right now, constantly battling this. Oh my gosh, I'd really like a pizza later. Oh, but I shouldn't. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do for dinner? What am I going to do for lunch? Am I going to have that dessert? Am I going to get hungry? What if I get hungry right before I go to bed? And that constant just noise of never shutting off. So that's what I want to dive in today. Regardless of where that food noise is coming from you, I want to try and give you some tools to help quiet that noise. Now, some people have reported to me, people that I know who have been on a GLP-1 of some form, that the GLP-1 helps quiet that food noise. Now, This is not me being a proponent to go on a GLP-1, because at the same time, whenever I hear that report, always wonder if we would have just taken control of your nutrition and tried a strategy first of understanding how to fuel your body and eat with intention so that you could try and reduce that food noise. I wonder if we could have reduced that food noise without the GLP-1 first. Now, again, some people maybe have tried working with a nutritionist, struggled with that, and the GLP-1 helped. I think that there are certain people where potentially a GLP-1 can help you get started with some of these things, but maybe it's not the long-term goal. And if that's the case, if you are someone who's been on a GLP-1, or maybe you're on one right now, I think it's so important to spend this time while you're on it understanding how nutrition works, how to fuel your body, so that when you do eventually one day go off of it, you understand how to fuel your body so that you can maintain whatever weight loss progress that you did get, and you're not panicking that you're just going to gain it all back. We want to make sure that you understand how to progressively over time increase your calorie count so that the second you go off, you don't feel that food noise rushing back. You don't feel like you're skyrocketing your calories all of a sudden and gaining everything back. We want to make sure that you have a really good understanding of nutrition, how your body works, how these cravings work, so that you can manage it and feel like you can still be successful with whatever goals that you have. Okay. Now, without being on GLP-1, so this is my question, is if that is something that you're considering, I would love for you to try these natural things first. Now, again, this is going to be battling everything that you grew up with and probably battling the reason that you have food noise in the first place. And it is that concept of, if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less. You have to battle that concept, because that is exactly how we grew up. Eat less, eat less, eat less. How much less can you eat? I was recently having a conversation with someone who said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. I had breakfast today, and then I ran 6 miles, burned it all off, and I haven't eaten since. I'm doing so good." And I wanted to scream. And I said, "No, that's not how it works. Now your body is in this state of, oh my gosh, what are you doing to us? And our metabolism is wildly confused. You're spiking your cortisol levels. You're stressing out of control. And now you're going to sit down for your first meal in hours and hours and hours after all kinds of cardio. And you're going to just want to inhale everything. That food noise is going to be so loud." So anyways, we're still battling a lot of these things, because she even looked at me and said, "Well, that's how it's done, isn't it? That's what you're supposed to do, right?" And no. And so this is one of those things that goes back to you don't know what you don't know. And we were programmed such a very specific way growing up that it is so hard to break those things. And that's why this episode right here is very closely related maybe to some of the other episodes that I've done, but I just can't stress enough. It takes reprogramming. It takes time. It takes hearing the same message over and over and over, maybe in different ways, until we can start getting it through our heads that eat less, move more is not necessarily what your body wants, to not just lose weight, but just to feel good. And it is possible to hit your weight loss, fat loss goals and feel good in the process doing it, not starving yourself. Okay. So if some of that food noise is coming through, could it be because you're constantly trying to diet? You're constantly in this restriction mindset. You're constantly challenging yourself to see how long you can go without eating, and then you're starving. And because you're always in this restrictive mindset, your body is constantly talking to you about, what can you eat? What are we going to eat next? When are we going to eat next? Oh my gosh, we better not have that. Oh, you're going to feel so bad when you eat that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Until you finally cave, right? We want to cut that noise out. We want to get rid of that restrictive mindset. And how do we get rid of that restrictive mindset? You give your body more. You feed your body. You fuel your body with intention and with the right things, right? Because it's not necessarily just eat less. Maybe you do need to eat less junk food, less fast food, less high in calorie, low in nutrient foods, and increase the amount of whole foods high protein foods, even foods with carbohydrates. Yes, because that is where a huge source of our energy comes from, but not the carbs that are the white breads, the white pastas, right? We want complex carbs, but we do want them to help support our energy. And so we want to make sure that we have proteins and carbohydrates and healthy fats like avocados and olive oils and butters and nuts and things like that. And we want to make sure that we have those as a part of each meal. Okay. Now, imagine. Oh, and real quick, the other point that I wanted to make as well is back to that restriction mindset. Just the mindset purely of, don't we want more of the things that we tell ourselves we can't have? And that's kind of a mindset game that is age old, but the more you tell yourself you can't have something, doesn't that just make you want it more? Right? So this is another mindset that we want to get out of by fueling more, because now when you have to fuel more, you get to think about the more of the things that you can have. You get to have this mindset of, what can I add in? What can I actually go eat more of? Not what am I cutting out? What am I adding in? Right? See, we're already flipping this script of, what can't I have? What do I need to steer away from? What do I need to stop thinking about? What do I need to shut these thoughts down from? Down, out, cut, restrict. Flip it to, what can I add? What do I get? I need more. What can I go eat? Because I'm allowed. Because my body needs this. It's fuel. It'll give me energy. All of the uplifting things. Okay. So that's a mindset flip in itself. Now, walk yourself through the scenario with me. Again, food noise that is occurring where you're trying to resist temptation, but then the temptation is set in front of your face. Let's say you go into work one day and you're so proud of yourself because you already skipped breakfast and you're doing good and you're not going to eat until lunch, and you came prepared with your salad, and you're doing great on your diet so far. You're already so low in calorie. You're going to hit your goal, and you're just so proud of yourself already. But you walk in the door and someone brought donuts. You love donuts. You have a sweet tooth. Oh, they're from your favorite place too. And you walk past and you think, nope, we're going to be good today. We're on our diet. Okay? Quotations. We're on our diet. We're going to be good. We're going to ignore the donuts. We're not going to have them today. You're so proud of yourself. You go into your meetings. You do your thing for the morning. You're not going to have them. You get your salad out and you eat your sad salad and you're thinking, okay, we're doing great. But that salad didn't fill you up, didn't satisfy you, didn't hit the spot. And now you're sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I still want that donut. Oh my gosh. I just need to make it a few more hours, then I can get out of here, and I don't need that donut. But then that 3 o'clock hits. Your energy's crashing. You're hungry. You have no other food. You're getting desperate. And the food noise is now so loud that you cave in. And not only do you grab one donut, you grab a donut and a half because you are so hungry you can't even stop yourself. Versus the person who walks in the door after having had a high protein breakfast with carbs. We had bread for breakfast, avocados on our toast and eggs, and we are so full and satiated, overly full, right? Because we know when to stop, but we just feel so good. We're so satisfied. There's no cravings there whatsoever. We have energy. We're feeling good today. We're only at 400 something calories for the day, and that was after having 3 eggs, half an avocado, 2 slices of toast, some coffee, maybe even some protein in our coffee. You're up to 29, 30 grams of protein all ready for your morning, and you're feeling great. So when you walk past and you see those donuts, you think, those look good. I really don't even want them. I love donuts. But no, like I'm good. I don't need it. And then you sit down for lunch because you start getting hungry again, and you brought a nice, balanced, high protein, easy to throw together lunch. You've got tuna, maybe some more avocado, maybe you've got some veggies, some rice, some chicken, whatever it may be. Didn't take long to prep. It's really basic. Maybe it's just leftovers from the night before. Maybe it's a little bit of extra chicken that you grilled up when you were grilling your steak yesterday, whatever it might be. But you eat that, and again, wow, that hit the spot. I'm good. 3 o'clock rolls around, and you're not having that energy crash because you've had plenty of carbs and protein and healthy fats, and you're actually feeling really good. No energy crash. The food noise is still real quiet. You think about that donut that's in there, you walk past it, and you think, huh, that'd be nice. Maybe even go and you grab just a teeny little corner to satisfy your sweet tooth, get a little taste. They are your favorite donuts after all. But you don't even want a whole one. Just that one little bite. It's good. That's all you want. Just cut it. That's all you needed. You're good to go. And you go home for the day feeling great, feeling proud of yourself, feeling satisfied, satiated, and you're hitting your weight loss goals. You're hitting your fat loss goals because your body's getting the fuel it needs to keep your metabolism balanced and working for you rather than against you. And you're not struggling with that food noise all day because you keep thinking about what you get to add in. What do you get to eat that you actually enjoy? Okay? Big difference. So if you are someone that struggles with food noise, but at the same time you recognize that you don't eat breakfast maybe you skip lunch, you skip a snack, you skip whatever, of course you're going to battle with that. Your body is trying to tell you something. Your body's trying to tell you that it wants more. And as hard as it is to wrap our brains around this, especially as this generation, sometimes in order to hit your fat loss goals, you do need to eat more of the right foods, right? Whole foods, not processed foods, foods with protein, complex carbs, healthy fats, right? Like we talked about. Now, the other thing to notice is we did build that in. That second person did get to have some donut, right? We want to make sure that we are building in the things that you do enjoy because it is sad to think about giving up pizza or completely giving up donuts or anything like that, right? When those are your favorite things, sometimes we just want them and we got to have them because we want to live our lives and enjoy our life, right? So build that in for yourself. Build in the pizza night, but have salad with chicken on the side so that you just want a small little piece to kind of scratch that itch, right? Get the pizza that you wanted, but have something in addition to it so that you are satisfied and satiated and hitting all of your nutrient boxes that help your metabolism, help you feel good, help you get your energy, right? So again, when we're talking about the macronutrients like protein and carbs and fats and things like that, it's not just so you can hit some number that people talk about or even hit some number that's going to help you with your fat loss, okay? Which, yes, that's why a lot of people track and a lot of people do those things is in order to reach a goal. But what I want you to understand is there's another reason that people talk about this so much, and it is because all of those things, hitting all of those macronutrients in each meal is directly correlated to your energy, to your mood, to the food noise that you hear, to your cravings, to your hunger, to your gut, to your digestion. Okay? It's correlated to all of the things, including your hormones as another one. Okay? They're all interconnected. So I don't want you to just think of tracking these things as a tool for fat loss, but, and even if you're not tracking them, but be aware of, is your plate filled with all of these things for those reasons, right? For all of the reasons that we just listed, because they are connected to all of those things as well. Okay. Now I want to talk about, is some of this related to stress? Okay, because sometimes our food noise is directly related to stress. And a lot of people struggle with stress eating. And that is something, again, everyone handles stress differently, but this is something that, again, the first step is just awareness. And a lot of people really are aware, but they don't have a lot of tools for what to do instead. So maybe we can actively say, yeah, you know what? When I'm stressed, I eat. I crave, I reach for the sweets, I reach for the carbs, I reach for whatever, right? When we're stressed, okay? So instead of going for those as your tools to help your stress, what if one, you were already feeling your body, so when you did want to go stress eat, that wasn't quite as tempting of a thing to reach for, Okay. Maybe it's still there because it's habit, because it's, it's stress, it's whatever. But maybe if you were already fueling your body with all of the things it needed to feel satiated and full, you wouldn't even want to reach for those things because you would know how much more full and how much more just gross and bloated you would feel if you did reach for those things. Okay. Number one. Number two is having other tools, having other options to reach for when your stress is high. And three, helping to manage those stress levels so they don't get to that point. So if you are already in that situation where you are very stressed and you find yourself wanting to reach for your comfort food, right? What are some other things that you can go do to lower your stress level? Number one, go for a walk, go sit in nature. Catch yourself in that process of, I'm recognizing I'm stressed. I'm going to go reach for the food, but I'm going to choose a walk instead. I'm going to choose sitting outside in a park instead. You're going to choose reading a book outside or going to listen to a podcast so that, again, you can help cut out some of that noise by just putting something else in your path. Okay. What can you choose instead of the food that will actively, scientifically help lower that stress level more than what eating would do for you in the first place? So it's going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. You're replacing the food so that you're not actually putting that in your body that it doesn't want or need. And two, you're actively helping your stress by releasing endorphins and hormones when you go and get movement in, when you go for the walk, when you decide to go find an exercise class that's going to lift you up and take that stress off, when you go to the gym and move some heavy weights around. All of those things are better choices, not just because now you're not eating, but because those are active stress reducers, okay? Or let's manage your stress. Let's start to recognize, are you doing things that are going to cause you to have more instances where you will be in higher stress situations, right? So maybe there are several things out of your control. There's stress going on at work, stress going on with your family, stress going on with just the season of life that you're in right now, whatever it may be. What choices and actions are you taking to make sure that those stress levels can be as managed as possible so that your already high cortisol levels, your already high stress levels aren't then spiking even more? So, are you getting plenty of sleep, plenty of quality sleep? Are you setting up an evening routine for yourself so that you are minimizing your blue light? You're not eating too late. You're not drinking alcohol that directly impacts your sleep every single night. Are you getting a solid quality 7 to 9 hours of sleep most nights so that when you wake up with an already elevated cortisol, it's not struggling to come back down? Do you have a morning routine where you're waking up before your kids? So your first interaction with the day isn't a kid staring at you in the face or jumping at you in your bed. Are you waking up 5 to 10 minutes early so that you can start your day off on your own terms? Are you drinking water first thing in the morning? Again, to help give your body what it needs to lower your stress. Our bodies are made up of over 80% water. If water isn't one of the first things that you're putting into your body, you are putting your body under stress. Okay? So whether it is a literal physical stress or mental stress, your body just recognizes it as stress. It doesn't matter. Okay? So we want to give our bodies what it needs: water, fuel, things that are going to help it manage its stress levels so that when something else stressful in the day comes up, and again, your body can't tell what stress is, it just recognizes all stress is universal, it already has the tools to manage that stress. And the final thing that I want to touch on is this is why resistance training, strength training, exercise in general is so important, because it is a stress that you're putting on your body, the healthy stress, right? But in doing so intentionally and purposefully, you are teaching your body how to manage stress, how to be better at managing stress, so that when a stressful life event comes up, your body already has the tools and recognizes how to manage stress. so that maybe as time goes on, you're not reaching for food to help manage your stress because you've taught your body how to naturally adapt and manage to stressors through exercise, through choosing how to fuel your body properly. Okay. So all of those things ultimately are going to help you cut out that food noise. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And just in case you are looking for a place to support you in making these decisions and being consistent with it, that is why I have my Realistically Consistent Mom membership. It is where we come in and we talk through these really hard situations. How are you managing stress? How are you managing the month? Right now, we're in the month of May. How are you managing the month of May and everything that it's throwing at you? How do you still find time for your workouts? How do you still find time for yourself? How do we do all of these things as moms, as busy moms? How do you still prioritize yourself so that you can manage your stress levels? You can cut back on food noise. Our focus of the week this week is actually protein, adding in more protein in our day to help that satiated feeling for all of the reasons that we talked about today. Okay. So if you want to get in, build those habits on a very consistent and realistic level, that is what this membership is for. You can click the link in the description here to try it for 1 week for free. I would love to see you in there. And with that, I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Realistically Consistent. If today's episode helped you, please hit subscribe and leave a quick rating as it helps more moms find the show. You can visit AllisonHaleyFitness.com for more tools, tips, and ways to stay connected. And just as a quick reminder, I'm here to share general information and encouragement, but this podcast isn't meant to replace professional medical or health advice. Everyone's circumstances are different, so be sure to check in with your trusted healthcare provider before making any big changes. Thanks again for being here, and until next time, keep showing up for yourself one realistic step at a time.